said, I didn't even know that this was an actual book. Like, honestly, if you want to call it like judging a book by its cover, I don't know. I didn't judge it by its cover, but it's definitely a beautiful, cover. So it's like, oh. What up, everybody? It's your girl, Sherry's Joy. Welcome to another episode of Bookmarked. This week's book is Hello Beautiful by Ann Napolitano. I apologize if I mispronounced the name incorrectly. This book is a very interesting book, but first let me tell you a little bit about me. I am Sherry's Joy. I love books. I'm an avid reader, and I enjoy explaining, or I enjoy reviewing books, and I enjoy giving you my book reading experience. I try to bring you content that is not spoilers, so I guess spoiler free. And this channel is all about my experience and my thoughts about the actual book and the writing and all of that, not about the spoilers. So welcome if you are new here. If you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share the link if you know anybody who could benefit from this information that I'm about to give you, or if you want to share the link anyway, just go for it. Okay, so here we go. This is a little bit of a funny story. So I've been doing some research on new e-readers. I need a new e-reader. Like, I have a 7th gen Paperwhite that I don't want to give up because I got it for a special occasion. It was like, when I got it, it was brand new. So that tells you how long I've had it, and it's messing up. So anyway, so I've been doing some research on e-readers, and I was like, well, I'm interested in a color soft. I wasn't at first, but now I am. And so I've been researching like all year, probably longer than that, I believe. And this book was like actually featured on the cover advertisement of the device on Amazon. So I was like, I kept seeing it on the Color Soft, and then I kept seeing it on like other Kindle devices. And I was like, what is this book? So I looked it up because I wasn't even sure it was like an actual book. I don't know. So I looked it up and I read the synopsis of it, and I was like, oh, interesting. This sounds pretty good. It's not a thriller. It's not historical fiction, but it sounded like a pretty good story. So it was written in 2023 or published in 2023. It's on Oprah's best reading of 2023 list. It is about 383 pages, and the audio is 15 hours. So I did read the book while listening to the audio. The audio is narrated by Maura Tierney. Again, if I mispronounce the name, I do apologize. And I believe that this book was really good. And, it's about an American family in Chicago. It takes place through the span of 1960 to 2008, and is definitely a tearjerker. I have read some books. It takes a lot for me to cry from a book. So I didn't like actually shed tears, but they did, like, the emotions did well up. Like, I could feel it coming on. And at times throughout the book, I was like, oh no, right? So, and then other times I was like, oh no. So yeah, so it was pretty good. So let's get into it. Okay. So it's about the Padovano family. We have 4 sisters: Sylvie, Julia, Cecilia, and Emmeline, in no particular age order. I believe Julia is the oldest. And so we start off with Julia and William. They meet up at college. Okay, so back up. So first we start with William in 1960, and about how he was born, and then he had like a sibling, and we find out like about their family trauma. And then William is very tall. He's like over 6 feet tall, and he becomes a basketball player. And he goes off to college. He goes to, I believe, Northeastern, and he meets Julia. And Julia is from a large family. She's got 3 siblings and a father and a mother, and they live in like the suburbs of Chicago. And they just kind of like click, right? They meet like, will you tell me about yourself? And I don't know, it was almost like a forced relationship a little bit. It just kind of like happened. It was like, whoa, what happened? Like the dating, like what's going on? So it just kind of happened. And in college, and that's fine. You're like kind of figuring out who you are still. And then, they have their relationship with ships with their friends. So what actually ends up happening is William, he befriends Kent, and he meets Kent. He signs up for work study, and he meets Kent, and like he's on laundry duty, and they're like, you can't be in here. It's 19, like what is he, like he was born in 60s, college probably like 1978 possibly ish, around there. So they're like, you can't be in here. This is not for you. William is white, Kent is black. And so they saved, like, they had the laundry duty for like the black students. And William was like, well, what does it matter? I need a job. Like, I can do this job. I want to do this job. What does it matter if I'm black? Or, what does it matter if I'm white? And Kent's like, yeah, come on in, and then they become friends, and they have that in common. And they're like, go through basketball and all of that together. And then you got Julia over here, who becomes the girlfriend, and she brings William home for like family dinner. And how this is like super funny. So we meet Julia's family, and well, backed up just a little bit. So Julia's sisters go to a basketball game to meet William to get approval of like, oh yeah, we like him. So they like him. So then William gets invited to the Padavano family for dinner. And that's where we meet Rose and Charlie, which are Julia's parents. And Rose is a trip. She's like, whoa, you're tall. Like, she's very outspoken. You're a giant. Julia, you didn't tell me he was such a giant. You didn't tell me that you were dating Larry Bird, and like all these like tall jokes. And William is like so used to hearing these because he's like super tall. So he's no harm, no foul to him. And then Charlie is like, very much into what William is talking about, and he's like really trying to get to know William and everything like that. And then Rose is just you kind of get the busybody, like housewife, busybody, nosy, outspoken type person. And it's funny because their dinner, like she didn't actually cook. So I don't know if you want to call that housewife, but also it's the times. So what they consider a fancy dinner is everybody gets a TV dinner. They cook the TV dinners. Everybody gets a TV dinner. And when there's a guest, the guest gets to pick which one he wants. So he picked like turkey and cranberry or something like that. So they're having this dinner and they're getting to know each other and everything, and it's cool. And then we go through all these motions. So William is kind of like estranged from his family. So he's kind of like adopted into, I guess you could say like he's accepted into the Padavano family, like as one of theirs. And then eventually him and Julia get married and all of that, and they have a child. And then William goes through life, like they both go through life. And William, he kind of just tragedies and stuff. There's family tragedies that happen and ups and downs. And then there's like a switch. So this is actually, I don't know if this is a spoiler, I do apologize, but William, when they have the baby, he's like, I don't know what to do with my life. He's like depressed. He goes into this deep depression, and, he's got his parents who don't care about him, who literally don't want him and wanted nothing to do with him. He goes through like this whole depression, and he like tries to, on purpose he goes into the Chicago River, and he just keeps on going until the river goes over him, and then somebody finds him and pulls him out. So he tried to do that to himself on purpose, didn't succeed. So he goes into the hospital, and the hospital calls his parents, and the doctor's like, literally like, your dad said he didn't want anything to do with this. He's like, not my problem. He's an adult now. I have nothing to do with this. This is his life. He decided to throw it away by doing what he did. So that just kind of gives like the relationship that he doesn't have, I should say, with his family. So he is part of the Padavano family. And so he's like, you know what? Fine. I'm in this depression. Let me live. I don't want to live anymore. So I'm going to write this note to my sister, my wife's sister, Sylvie. They become really close, and I'm going to leave her. So he actually does that. He tries to leave her. And then that's when he goes into the river and all of that stuff, because he's in a depression. And, And so he's in the hospital, and Julia is like, I don't know what to do. Like, he left me. I don't know what to do, and all this other stuff. So Sylvia actually takes care of him. They actually think that Sylvia is his wife in the hospital. And she's like answering all the questions. She's kind of the liaison between the doctors and Julia, letting them know what's going on. Sylvia is the only one who really is like acting like he cares. And meanwhile, they kind of fall in love with each other. And Julia doesn't know that they're falling in love with each other. She thinks that she was just left. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go start my life in New York City. I have a life to live. I graduated and all this other stuff. I have a baby. I'm going to New York City. I don't want anything to do with the rest of my family for right now. I just need to live my life and be the best at my life. So we, dodging through this book, right, all the way up till 2008. So we follow Julia, we follow William, we follow Sylvie throughout the times, and then Alice is the child. So we actually start following her, and it's really just a family story about life. Life happens, and it's really, honestly, without giving any spoilers, I don't want to spoil, that's what it's about. And it's a good story. Like, this is the first book I've ever read from this author. Again, like I said, I didn't even know that this was an actual book. Like, honestly, if you want to call it like judging a book by its cover, I don't know, I didn't judge it by its cover, but it's definitely a beautiful, cover. So it's like, oh, and then it's like, okay, well, what is this Hello Beautiful, right? Is it about a model? Is it about an artist? No, it's so heartfelt of why this book is this way. And the book is this way is because Charlie, the dad, when the child was born, the dad saw the baby for the first time and was like, hello, beautiful. And, and then that's like, because that's what his catchphrase is. He would say, hello, beautiful. And that's why the book is Hello Beautiful. There you go. So let's get into the writing, right? So keep in mind, I am not a writer. I am not a professional writer. I do write, I dabble, but I am not a professional writer. So this is my opinion strictly. I thought the writing was written very well. It was dry in some parts, not going to lie. Like, having the audio, listening to the audio while I was reading, again, just kind of, it's my new thing, I think. It kind of helped me decipher the different characters. There's different characters, different things, and we're flipping through time, or fast forwarding, we're not flipping through time. We're kind of like moving onward through time. So having the audio while reading helped me differentiate the characters as well as the time period and what's going on, and it was easier to follow. Definitely made it a lot more entertaining for me. A straight drama isn't my genre, so to me, it had dry spots, right? I had periods where when I was just reading it, not listening to audio, there were periods where I was like, wait, what happened? And I had to like go back because I like zoned out, right? I'm definitely a thriller, actiony, like, oh my goodness, like I can see it kind of girl. But the book wasn't terrible. I mean, out of 5 stars, I gave it a 5-star because of the storyline and the plot and how it was written, the audio version of it all. Like, all of that just kind of gave me the 5-star, or gave me the inspired me to give the 5-star rating. Sorry, I don't know what's going on tonight. The writing, right? So I saw the characters. I was engaged in the story. I saw the characters. The audio, I could hear the characters. Like, I could definitely hear like the mom, and I could see her. Like, I pictured the mom with red hair. She didn't have red hair, but it's good. I mean, that's why you read, right? You read and you picture, you visualize what you visualize, not necessarily what the author has you wanting to visualize, but that's what you do. Have you ever read this book? Have you read this book? Are you interested in reading this book? Let me know. I am very curious to know your thoughts and find out how you feel about this book. If you like drama and that's your thing, like, I definitely recommend this book. If you want to try drama, like a nonfiction, or excuse me, a fiction book, just have at it. I recommend this book. I recommend this book anyway, right? We all need to, I don't know, come out of the box, or think outside of the box and everything like that. I do. I know I do. And I have been. I've been doing really good this year with it. So I'm very excited. I do recommend the book. I really do. And would I read another book from this author? I would check it out. I would definitely see, if I'm in the mood for like a nice little drama, then, if that's what this author writes, that's great. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I didn't, do much research on any other books that this author has. And that is one because I have such a long list of TBRs that I need to get to it. I have a goal this year. My goal is 52 books. Right now, I am at 43. So I'm almost there. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your attention and your time and listening to me and liking and subscribing and just supporting me in general. I really appreciate it. I am Sherry's Joy. I am half of the DigiKast. You can find me on Instagram at bookmarkedsj. I am on Blue Sky as Sherry's Joy. You can find me here also on Bookmarked SJ on YouTube, and you can find the DigiKast on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube at the DigiKast. Thank you so much for your support. Again, if you know anybody that could benefit from my channel, my reviews, check them out. Spread the word. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Love the world. You're just the right side.